Hello, my dear children. Myself, Mr. Pranay Vidyut, who is before you to share a small secret again. Of course, whenever I told it as a secret, you people might have already known it. It's an open secret now, which is nothing but day before examination strategy. But this time I'm coming with a different subject, which is nothing but CMAD, Cost and Management Audit of CMA Final. So without any late, let me start. Point number 1. CMAD is unique subject in cost and management accountancy profession, because this sort of subject is not there in CA final actually. So this video is also useful to those students who are actually writing CMA examinations with the coaching of CA final, because there will be certain category of the students who will be preparing CMA on their own with the knowledge of CA final, but cost and management audit is totally a different subject which is not covered in CA final. And the unique feature of CMA examinations is all about there will be no day by day examination concept. You have to write every day. Of course, they have designed in such a way that group 1 one subject, group 2 another subject. I mean to tell, since it is final, group 3 one subject, group 4 one subject, again 3 one subject, 4 another subject. So in this arena, what happens, those people who are writing a single group will be getting benefited because they are going to attempt their examination on day by day wise. But those students who are attempting both groups at a single stretch, there's no concept of day by day points at all. You have to write the exams every day. So those students who are actually attempting only group 2, for those subjects, for those students, this will be the first examination, which is nothing but paper number 17, and they are actually having plenty of time to revise this. But those students who are writing both the groups, that's group 3 and group 4, now you people are just having only half day, maximum half day. In that half day, how to cover CMAD and on what topics you have to focus more, I'm going to reveal that. And let me start. So at the first instance, if you observe internal control, internal audit and operational audit, you will be getting a theory question, 7 marks, sure short question. Those students who are actually preparing from our materials, Masterminds material, please don't ignore self-study at any context, because we have included such a kind of questions in self-study. Those are easy to understand and reproduce, but it doesn't mean that self-study questions are unimportant. So be very, very careful, my dear children. Don't just stick on to main material, also go through workbook. Take care. So 7 marks, a theory question, and even practical questions are there in this chapter, but least preferred. You have to concentrate on theory at the first instance. And the next, audit of different service organization, a sure short, very, 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 very simple chapters, and chapter 7 mark you can get very happily without any hesitation, without any difficulty, without any hastiness. And it is something like a jackpot to you. Anti-money laundering, forensic audit and information systems audit. If you have gone through the institute material, each and every chapter is comprising around 60 to 70 pages. Forensic and anti-money laundering. Of course, information systems audit might be around only 30 to 40 pages. But the greatest part is that he is not testing all the loopholes, side pads or unimportant topics from these areas. He is testing only the most important aspects from these chapters. And those most important aspects were already been kept in your material. So you can happily prepare from our material. And coming to anti-money laundering, you have to go through both self-study and also what is that called, main material. And coming to forensic audit, be careful, my dear children. Forensic audit, one time he had asked case scenario based question. Only one time he asked case scenario based, but it's not that important. And moreover, case scenario were not included in the institute material, so you can just concentrate on the theory. And information system security audit, again as usual, a simple chapter. Moreover, in our material, if you see, it's only 4 pages. I mean to tell, most important topics are covered just in that 4 pages itself. Of course, if any self-study concept and workbook is there, please prepare that. And coming to anti-money laundering, all the FATF recommendations can be given as a second priority, and all the remaining you have to prepare carefully. And as I said, something called jackpot, and the jackpot is all about you might get 7 marks from each of these 3 chapters if you're enough lucky. See, in the first attempt of new syllabus 2022, in the first attempt, he asked only one of the questions from anti-money laundering, forensic and information systems audit. In the second attempt, he asked 14 marks. In the third attempt, he asked 21 marks. So it's obviously a kind of jackpot if all the 3 questions were being asked from these 3 chapters. They are easy, but some sort of legal and different language will be there. So concentrate carefully and read once. And coming to the next big, very simple chapter, Introduction to Cost Audit. Damn sure, short 7 marks question, a theory question. And next, company's cost records and audit rules and profitability analysis. My dear children, this profitability analysis is actually the part of company's cost records and audit rules. Listen very carefully. You are going to get 14 marks problems here. One from profitability analysis, that is this chapter, and another one from cost reconciliation statement. These 2 problems are mandatorily being tested. In all the past 3 attempts, these 2 problems were tested. But my dear children, also give enough and equal importance to the next set of problematics that are capital employed computations, net worth computations, value added computations, distribution statement, and last preference is to waste multiplier, because you all people know that waste multiplier is not there in the new syllabus and hence it's last preferred. And 14 marks problems, sure shot, no doubt at all in that. If your luck is more, you will get a 7 marks theory question. If your luck is favoring still more, you can get 7 marks case scenario based question or a problem. Case scenario based questions, hope you know that we have covered many questions like rule number 3 and rule number 4 especially. You're going to get from that aspect. And moving on to the next one. Let me keep this chapter aside. And if you observe chapter number 10 and chapter number 11, point number 1, you can happily ignore chapter number 11 and chapter number 12 for the examination. From CAS 10 and CAS 10 to CAS 24, you can happily ignore. But if you are such a student who would like to aspire a rank or who would like to get more than 90 in CMAD, then it's recommended to prepare the principles of measurement from each and every chapter, each and every standard. Principles of measurement from each and every standard from CAS 10 to CAS 24. So if you would like to get more than 70 or 60, if it is your target, then happily you can ignore chapter number 11 because it's actually a very lengthy chapter, And for your kind information, my dear children, the highness is all about from chapter number 10, you're going to get 14 marks problematics for sure. Mostly he is concentrating on CAS number 6, CAS number 7. These are the first 2 picks. Material cost and labor cost problematics, employee cost problematics. And the next pick, if at all a question is missed from CAS 6 and CAS 7, he will be testing you from CAS 2, capacity determination. If even capacity determination is missed, the next pick is CAS 8 or CAS 4. Cost of utilities and cost of production. And least importance must be given to CAS 1, CAS 10, CAS 12. I mean to 12, repairs and maintenance, direct expenses and classification of costs. And all other problematic standards can be given the next importance. So first preference to CAS 6, CAS 7, CAS 2, CAS 8, CAS 4. And the next preference is for CAS 1, CAS 10, CAS 16, CAS 12 and any other problematic parts of cost accounting standards. And if your luck is favoring more, you will be getting a 7 marks theoretical question, which is mostly 90% from principles of measurement. If principles of measurement is missed, he will be asking it from assignment of costs. And of course, as I said, you can happily ignore cost auditing and assurance standard. Now, I left one chapter here, right? Cost auditor professional ethics. Remember, chapter number 9, chapter number 13, chapter number 14, chapter number 15. Cost auditor professional ethics, cost audit program, cost audit documentation, preparation and filing of cost audit report through XBRL. From these 4 chapters, short 7 marks. If your luck is favoring more, you will get one more 7 marks. To tell you, appearing or while telling, these are something like 4 chapters, but I'm pretty sure, my dear children, these 4 chapters are as small as internal audit. To tell you, not as small as, smaller than the chapter of internal audit. Preparing 9, 13, 14, 15 is very easy when compared to preparing internal audit alone. I mean to tell, such a smaller topic is this one. And of course, let me go ahead with the next one. That is management audit. And my dear children, coming to management audit, that is basics of management audit in different functions, and cost audit plus management audit concept will be there in management reporting, issues and analysis. From these three topics, you will be getting 14 marks for sure. Mostly the 14 marks will be obviously a kind of theory itself. But in management reporting, issues and analysis, you are also having problematic, but they were least preferred. So you keep it at last option in the preparations time. And my dear children, this is what your strategy for cost and management audit. I told you the marks, I told you the preferences. Depending on that, you just go ahead with relative importance of the topics that you're going to prepare. And now my pick. If I were a student who is writing the examination tomorrow, then I'll be giving most important to all the chapters except management audit, because management audit portion is comparatively vast, even though you're just getting 14 marks from that. So you can ignore that. But always being a teacher, being a faculty, my point is all about never leave an entire topic for choice. Prepare all the easy parts and leave. So my point, basics of management audit is very easy, and damn sure you're going to get a 7 marks from this. So prepare that topic and leave management audit in different functions if needed. And management reporting, issues and analysis, just prepare problematic and just go through the topics once a while. That's it, my dear children. So this is what your day before examination strategy. And remember, very easily you're going to get from audit of different service organizations, introduction to cost audit, company's cost records and audit rules, of course profitability analysis, overview of cost accounting standards, problematics, CAS 6, 7, 2, 8, 4. Of course, the next preference 1, 10 and 16. So these 5 should be your first pick, because only these 5 are covering on an average 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 into 7. On an average 42 to 48 marks were just covered only because of these topics, excluding MCQs. So that is the beauty of these topics. So this should be your first pick. And the second pick should be internal controls, cost auditor professional ethics. Now, let me write Roman number 2 for this one. Second pick, internal controls, cost auditor and professional ethics, cost accounting, cost audit program, cost audit documentation and preparation of filing of cost audit report. This should be your second pick. Relative importance. And now coming to relatively the third importance, it must be given of course to anti-money laundering, forensic audit and information securities audit. So mandatory, you have to prepare all these things better in this order. Now, what are the topics that you can read for choice? Chapter number 11, you can leave, but if you are aiming to get more than 90, then at least prepare principles of measurement and assignment of cost for all the standards, including CAS 10 to CAS 24, of course, right from CAS 1 to CAS 24. And the next, you can happily ignore cost auditing and assurance standard, management audit in different functions because it's typical, management reporting, issues and analysis, basics of management audit. These two things outright you can leave, these things prepare. But if you would like to take a risk, then you can leave these 3 things. Otherwise, no, don't leave. Even leaving CAS chapter number 11 and chapter number 12 is absolutely not at all risky. And my dear children, this is your day before examination strategy for cost and management audit. All the best.